Hello everybody, Carole Garrison with Carole's Creative Escape. Thank you so much for joining me for another night of crafting. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 11 years, and my goal in life is to simply share joy one card at a time. I've been making cards for probably close to 30 years now, evolving each step of the way, mostly focused now on rubber stamping and other techniques related to paper crafting. And I'm so glad that you took time out of your schedule to join me. Hey, Lori, thanks for watching. I just love what I do, and I love being able to share it with others, especially when I can show them how to make a card and they can find their creative side and creative part inside of them. So I hope everybody had a great week. Nothing too exciting, busy with work, and then also watching not watching, but spending time with my mom. We did a little bit of Christmas cookie baking yesterday. Spent some time with my sister in the ER Friday night. That was an experience and a half. Fortunately, nothing super serious, but more to follow on that probably next week. And, other than that, it's just been typical kind of getting ready for Christmas. So what I'm going to do is just hop right over tonight, because my project for tonight is a simple project just to show you how to make a gift holder for chapstick. I always put that in as a stocking stuffer, and this year I thought, well, I'd been at a holiday party and I saw somebody that had these gift things for chapstick, and I thought, well, that's absolutely perfect for what I'm doing, and it's going to allow me to get a little fancier than just sticking a tube of chapstick into their stockings this year. So let me just flip my camera over and we'll get started right away with the video. And you can see my lovely ceiling there. We're going to go ahead and get plugged in, and we should be able to get started. I'm always happy when I'm fairly straight as I get going here. So let me do just a couple little tweaks. I have one cat down here with me tonight. Hopefully she stays pretty calm. She's in her sleeping chair, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed that she doesn't decide to join us tonight. Let's see if I can get my cord out of the way here too. You don't need to see that in camera, do ya? Okay, so tonight what I'm going to show you how to make is this cute little gift holder for chapstick. It's a very simple project. Again, great for using up some of those small pieces. Because of how I'm using it, I didn't even stamp on this or add any fancy embellishments. But I've got my little ribbon, and when you open it up, there you go with your chapstick. It should hit most, I should call it lip balm. It should fit most sizes of lip balm that comes in a tube like this. I think this is a 0.15 ounces of lip balm. And you can see where there'd be room if you wanted to put a little note or something on there. You could just change that to basic white cardstock. So I've made a couple of these, and I'm going to walk you through the process, but it'll show you just with whatever paper you have on hand. And you can coordinate it nicely on the inside. And I chose to use some ribbon to tie mine off. I have not trimmed any of my ribbon, so that's why you're kind of seeing it super long right now. Here's another example, and just another example. So you can see they'll change a little bit in appearance just by the paper that you're using, but these are all fun just for Christmas kind of thing. So let me show you real quick how to make these. To start with, you need a piece of cardstock that my measurements disappeared. There it is. Piece of cardstock that measures 3.5 by 5.5 inches, and you're going to score it at 2 3/8 and 3 1/8. And then you're going to have 4 pieces of cardstock, and each of these is going to measure 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. I've seen some directions where they just use this side as designer series paper. I wanted to add just a little bit of thickness, and since I wasn't going to embellish mine at all, I used that layering paper just to add some of the detail that wasn't going to be there otherwise. So I used some foils. I've used glitter paper. I really like how that sparkles. And I just decided I was going to Initially I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it this way on all of the pieces, but I really liked how that glitter looked. And so I added that layer on some of mine, and some I just used the designer series paper to speak for it. So you've got flexibility on how you do that. On this particular card, I am going to use 4 pieces of cardstock. Again, these measure 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. And then I have 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 1 7/8 by 3 inches. And then finally, I've got a little piece of cardstock that measures 1 inch by 3 inches. On this larger piece of cardstock, you'll be scoring it at 2 3/8 and 3 1/8. And on this littler piece of cardstock, you're going to score it at 0.75 and 2.25. If you prefer, you can score it at 0.75, rotate it, and then do the other side at 0.75. Totally up to you on that. And then I've got a piece of ribbon. This measures about 18 inches long. I did find with this velvety ribbon, it was a little harder to tie for this project. So instead of doing it in a bow, you could probably get by with a slightly shorter piece and just tie it in a knot. But that's totally up to you. And then, like I said, you can add layers to decorate or embellish it however you want. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing we're going to do is just adhere these pieces to our cardstock. And I learned a really cool trick in addition to making this thing. You know how when you're starting your tape runners, they don't always work or they get gummed up? All you gotta do is run it against the back of your hand. It doesn't come off on your hand, but bingo, it gives you that sticky tape. Again, that light touch that I sometimes struggle with is also important, but when it does get gummed up, I'm going to show you how well that works. Okay, there's one piece. All right, right like that. Run it against the back of my hand, and there you go. I couldn't believe how well it worked. I'd never heard of that. So there's my tip for the day, along with instructions on how to make this cute little chapstick holder, lip balm holder. And what I like about this is it's all rectangular type cuts, so it's going to be quick and easy to make, especially if you need to make a lot of them. I have put together 6 so far. This is my 7th and last one. That's how quick and easy it was. So we've got our layers put together, and then I'm going to take this little piece and we're actually going to attach it here. So I'm going to fold, I gotta make sure I'm folding it the right way. So we're going to fold with that mountain piece of my score line. We're going to fold upwards on that because that's going to give me that curve. And I do want a pretty crisp score line here, so we're going to fold along here, and then these pieces eventually will get adhered. But if you can tell on these, you can see that this is kind of rounded, and the easiest way to do that is once you've folded these pieces the way that they're going to go down, all you have to do is take your bone folder and you're going to go right in between those score lines and just rub your bone folder. What it does is kind of break down the fibers a little bit in the paper, and it creates that curve for you. So now you can see I've got a nice curved piece just with that little trick. And then we're going to take some of our tear and tape. And anytime I'm doing a project where it's going to kind of have something pulled in and out or pulled against it, I'm going to use our tear and tape just because it's a very strong tape, and look, it even holds cat here. It's a very strong tape and it's easy to use. I sometimes get messy when I'm using glue, so I prefer to not always be using that. There we go, get rid of that cat hair. And then I'm just using 2 strips, so I'm getting a good adhering adhesive going. So I've got that piece ready. And now we can kind of start assembling. For the ribbon, I'm going to put it on the back side, the outside of my card. So first we're going to fold along the score lines. And again, remember, you always fold with the mountain, fold towards the mountain, so that's kind of on the inside. And we're going to burnish that again to get a good crisp fold. We kind of want it to look like a book. I'll get that other piece. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our ribbon. Now, I played with this a little bit, and a lot of our ribbon is a little narrower than what my tape is. And so the trick that I found that worked best, and I didn't have to worry about having to erase any tape, is to simply go and add some adhesive right kind of in the middle, both up and down as well as side to side. And if I'm a little bit off, I can just add kind of a second layer on top, because this will all get covered. And then I take my ribbon and I fold it in half and just kind of eyeball where the halfway point is. And I'm going to put that halfway point in the center of my spine, and then just press down this ribbon right where my adhesive is. And this way I don't have any adhesive showing here, and I've stopped well before I've gotten to the edge, so I don't have to worry about any adhesive showing through on the edge either. And this is going to be the outside of my cover, so I'm choosing to use these two pieces for the outside. And I notice I've got a little mark on that paper, so I'm going to put that on the back. And we'll add some adhesive to that, and then I'm just going to center this. And again, look at opposite corners, because if those are even, then the rest of the card should be even, or the rest of the layer should be even. And this is just, like I said, the perfect thing for kind of that last minute stocking stuffer or little treat that you want to give somebody for Christmas. And I think this would be really cute too in pastel summer colors. I realize all the ones that I've made are Christmas themed because that's how I'm going to be using mine. But wouldn't that be cute with a pastel color and kind of an Easter bunny on it that you could use for Easter and stick that in an Easter basket? That was kind of, or Valentine's, you can make a little Valentine with Valentine paper too. And obviously you can add stamps, die cuts, punches, and things like that. I was really looking for something quick and simple to finish off my stocking piece, and that's why I'm not adding any more embellishments than the ribbon, but it could easily be done. I kind of know what's going to happen with them when I'm done, or when the recipients are done with them. So I didn't feel like I had to do a lot of fancy on it. All right, so then I just put adhesive on the back side of each of these, and I line the score lines up so that this piece is right in the middle. You don't want to squish it, but you want it to bump out and form that little tunnel so that we can stick our chapstick in it. No, or lip balm. One of the things that I did find is it was helpful to go start the bottom and slide the cover up, as opposed to going downwards. I just found the rough end where you turn it was a little harder to slide through. And I was a little worried that this might be too tight, but it really does, or not too tight, but too big, and that it would just fall out as soon as I picked it up. But it really does hold it, and once you've closed it and tied it up, it isn't going to go anywhere. So that part is kind of nice. All right, and then to decorate the inside, it's pretty simple. Again, we're just going to take a little adhesive and go like this with it centered. So I like to put this piece in before I do my inside panels, because then it's going to cover up most of that piece. And there we go. We're just going to do that. And then all you have to do is go through and insert your lip balm tie it off. And like I said, I think this time you could probably shorten your ribbon, because I think this one I may just kind of tie in a knot and let it go at that. So I got a little bit extra ribbon. Partly that's because this is a one-sided ribbon, and so this way I don't have any of the white part showing either when I tie it like that. We'll see what happens when I actually go to use it, and then you can see that ribbon coming through on the back, but no tape showing through on that. So it is a quick short video tonight for making these chapstick holders. Again, measurements real quick: 3.5 by 5.5, scored at 2 3/8 and 3 1/8. And then we've got 4 pieces of cardstock that measure 2 1/8 by 3 1/4, and 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 1 7/8 by 3 inches. And then this strip is 1 inch by 3 inches, scored at 0.75 and 2.25. Ribbon, depending on how you're going to tie it, can go anywhere. You know, you're just going to kind of have to guess with it. Like I said, this is about 18 inches. And if you're just going to tie a knot, that's excessive. If you're going to tie a bow, you probably want to have this just to work with. And then you can trim ends up just to clean it up a little bit. So there you go, everybody. Have a great week. Next Monday is actually Christmas Day, so I will not be live that night. Not sure that I'm going to do anything next week just because of how the holiday falls. But maybe I'll just do an impromptu video and post it so that you can continue with your crafting, because I'm guessing now we'll have to focus a little bit on some thank you cards. So take care, everybody. Have a great week. Happy holidays. I hope you have a good time and are able to spend some time with friends and family. And we'll see you all on January. Gosh, I don't even know what day it will be. January. Will that be January 1st on Monday? I think it will be. So we'll see you all on January 1st. I do plan to go live that night. I don't whoop it up the night before, so I should be in great shape to show you how to make a card that night. So take care, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. We'll see you on the 1st. Bye-bye.